Hey guys, it's Dr. Anderson, Life Centers Chiropractic in Missouri City. Guys, today I want to talk to you about something that's so important. When you go through high-level corrective chiropractic care, it's so important to have a detailed examination and even digital on-site x-rays when it's necessary. There's so many times that you need to have an imaging to have a picture that's worth 1,000 words for a patient's situation to really understand what's going on. You at least need to have posture analysis and detailed spinal evaluation and an exam to be able to know where the true subluxation is or spinal misalignment. So I'm going to break down what that means. So there's a normal alignment of the spine. When you look at it from the back, it should be perfectly straight up and down. The hips should be square and level. And when you turn to the side, you should have arches. When you're in that normal alignment, you have normal mechanics. The spine's healthy. The discs are healthy. There's no entrapment in the nerves. Usually you're feeling pretty great, right? And we would never want to bring someone in and just bring them in off the street, lay them down, and just start arbitrarily popping and cracking their back, right? I get it, guys. There's time where that might feel good, right? You can just get a quick crack of your back and it feels good. But there's some really important things you got to understand about that. I would have no idea as a doctor if your spine was like this and I was then supposed to do this for you over time. Or what if you had the exact pain, the same symptoms, the same part of your back you're pointing to that's been nagging you from your computer, but it was actually like that? That's pretty important to know. So this is an example of that. So these are an analysis that we can do with software on the imaging where we can actually isolate angles and we can get a clear picture that's really easy for us and you to understand exactly where the problem is. And we can also create a baseline to measure improvements over time, right? So these are two real patients of ours in the clinic that came in with the exact same problem: neck pain, back pain, tightness, things like that, text neck, all those things that everyone deals with in a computer, and they think it's just a tight muscle or a stiff neck. These were developing little by little over time. But you can see they're dramatically different presentations with angles going one direction or versus another direction. There's different, one's far more severe and one's far more simple. Even though you have the same symptoms, the recommendation for these people is completely different. The adjustment is different to be able to reduce that properly, the timeline, the home care, the rehab, the recommendations we have you to do at home to make sure it never comes back. Those things need to be customized for you. And we feel like you deserve that. That's why we take time to do a detailed analysis, even imaging when it's necessary, to make sure we have a crystal clear, customized program that's going to get to your root cause or your problem so you can live a life without limits. The other thing that's critical that I get really excited about is the neurologic effect of that. So guys, there is so much research now coming from Heidi Havvic, who's one of the leading spinal researchers in the world. She's been researching the spine and the neurologic effects of a healthy versus an unhealthy spine and how chiropractic actually influences neurologic and body function. So this new research that's coming out is showing that the spine is literally the engine of the brain and the nerve system. It's the direct communication between the brain and the body. So, for example, when you're getting in research an actual high-level corrective chiropractic adjustment that reduces that subluxation pattern compared to people that just get a quick, what they call sham adjustment, which is that just general spinal manipulation. You don't really find the right area. You just push on the back. Maybe it pops. Maybe it feels good. But you're not actually reducing the real cause of the problem of neurologic interference. When you correct the real root cause of subluxation, we're finding today in research that you immediately after the adjustment, get 20% healthier brain function in the prefrontal cortex, which I know can sound complicated, guys, but it is so profound. These sham adjustments, where you just kind of lay down and have someone push on your back, but it's not correcting a neurological interference, have zero effect. It might feel good for a moment, but there's no neurologic benefit to doing that, and there's no long-term health gains. Guys, the prefrontal cortex is so beneficial, I even had to write down the notes of the highlights. So I'm just going to read some of these to you. This is what research says happens when you get a chiropractic adjustment. You get 20% higher and healthier function in your prefrontal cortex immediately. Your children do, all the way up to your spouse or your grandmother who's 97 years old. So I'm going to talk to you about 4 critical areas that the prefrontal cortex has been shown to be to benefit from with a chiropractic adjustment. Autonomic physiological control. What that means is your automatic nerve system, the parts of your nerve system that do all the stuff you don't think about, that control your heart rate, your heart health, that control your heart rate variability, your blood pressure, hormonal balances, regulating your stress response. The stress response is what raises cortisol, which is at the root cause of literally every chronic illness you can imagine. Chronic fatigue, depression, anxiety, nervousness, irritable bowel syndrome, heart disease, cholesterol, diabetes, sleep problems. It goes on and on and on, all related to cortisol. 75% of every American citizen has a chronic illness that's related to cortisol. 52% of our children have chronic illnesses that they deal with every day of their life, throughout their life, that are related directly to cortisol. What if we can improve that? Another one, behavioral and self-regulation. This one is mind-blowing. When you have a healthy brain-body connection and a healthy prefrontal cortex, areas of dietary self-control. So what that means is literally it's a leading factor of you regulating what you put in your mouth with cravings and what you don't. It's a leading factor for obesity. Impulse control. Resisting sugar, addictive foods, addictive substances, tobacco, alcohol, dopamine addiction. It's the one that controls compulsiveness and addictions improves. Those brain centers improve when the brain and body are connected better. Sleep quality. Another category, emotional resilience and mental well-being. So this is your emotional regulation, your pain modulation. So this means like how you perceive pain can be improved simply by getting your spine and your brain connected and communicating better. Another one that was mind-blowing to me is the cognitive and executive functions, the ones that run who you are in your personality. Working memory, planning towards your future goals, and the ability to stay organized with your mental processes improve when you have a healthy prefrontal cortex. Attention, focus, even things like ADHD, focus, learning, memory, brain fog. And this one really hit me. There's a category that they call will to live. So neuroscientists have shown that there is an integral link between a person's will to live, your actual will to live, and their personality expression, your expression of being the full person that God created you to be, can be throttled up and down almost like a dimmer switch. And that can be dampened neurologically through a real physical problem in your body's ability to adapt to the stresses that every human goes through. But your body might have a dimmer switch physiologically that's interfering with your ability to express who God made you to be. Guys, I can't think of anything more important than that. So yes, chiropractic is amazing for your neck, your back, your headaches, your migraines, your sciatic, but there's so much more neurologically that you get every single adjustment. Just make sure it's a corrective one.